you?
Good. So this is our second, it's our third episode of Keeping It Real, which is what we're calling a series of videos to kind of help educate the public on what happens in various departments and meetings and things like that are going on in the city. So today I have Joe Mousel, who is the street superintendent for about how long now?
2 years.
2 years, but Joe, you have a lot of time with the city because you were at Parks and Rec for how long?
28 total years.
Okay, so 28 total years with the city. And Parks and Rec helps the streets department on various things,
yes,
as we might get into later. So that makes sense, that you would have a lot of knowledge about things. And how many people work for the street department?
I have 6.
6.
Including me.
Including
5,
you.
Yeah, 5
So,
plus me.
6,
I'm a
5
6.
plus you. Okay. And
Plus
is that full staff for
That's
streets?
full staff, yes.
Okay. We're going to talk today a little bit because, boy, I hate to bring it up because the weather is so good right now. I mean, the weather is, as we're filming this, the weather is gorgeous. It's like 40-some degrees out. No snow this week. And I don't want to bring it on, but, it is winter. So we've had some snow events, so about how many this year? So, or how many before Christmas or at Christmas?
Right around 5 we've been out, I think.
Okay.
I don't know the exact number.
Okay. So, yeah, it was, there were some storms, and then that Christmas storm
Ice.
was
We've
really,
had some ice.
yeah,
too, so.
yeah. So the trucks have been out, they're ready if it happens again, but I wouldn't mind it, honestly, if it just stayed like this. I don't think anybody would. Tell us then, one thing people know is that we have a snow emergency. And the snow emergency is in effect if an inch or more of snow falls.
Yes.
It's automatic. We don't send notices. We just say to people, once an inch falls, you got to get your vehicles off of city streets and out of city parking lots.
Yes.
Why is that so important, Joe?
It just helps us get our job done more efficiently. When we most of our trucks now have big wings, so the guys are concentrating on forward plus the sides. There's a lot going on in the cabs of these trucks when we're plowing snow, and it just helps the guys, focus on the road ahead of them instead of there's a car here, you have to lift the wing up, set it back down. So yeah, that's one of the main things. And then a lot of times when we go back, if it's a wet snow, the car will get moved, but then it turns to ice where that car was parked, and it's rough on equipment. So if they're off the street, it's a lot easier, more efficient for us to be done.
Okay. How do you decide? I'm sure some of what the snow removal or ice treatment or any of that process is depends on the event and when it happens. But how do you really determine when you're going to put the plows out? What you're going to put down? Do you put down salt all the time?
Straight salt. We use straight salt.
Straight salt.
Yes.
Okay. And we have how much of that on hand usually?
Every year we order about 300 ton. I haven't ordered any because we had a bunch left over from last year, but it just all depends on the winter.
Okay.
On what we use, how much we use. Everybody thinks that the more salt you put down, the better off you're going to be. That's not exactly the case. So.
Okay. Tell us why there might be, like in one storm, I think it might have gotten slick out there at night, but why you weren't out there right away on some events, why you might wait. Explain that.
A lot of times it is west of town on Lincoln Way, and it blows so much across there that, for me to have a guy out there from, say, 2 o'clock in the afternoon till midnight, going back and forth. We generally try to stay out till 6:37, to get the people home. And then after that, it's just...
Like if there's a storm event during the day, you're trying to be out there till people would get home from work.
Yes.
And then what if
it
there's
keeps snowing.
Okay, and then what if there's a snow event at night and there's a big event at night? What time are you usually out in the morning after that?
It generally depends, but I like to come in at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, so then we have enough time to get the roads cleared at say before 5:30.
Okay, and does this take everybody in your department? How many plows and other types of equipment would be out there?
So we have 6 of us running the big plows. And then if it's enough snow, I will have 2 pickup plows in the alleyways. We work
And
with...
who do you get to help you?
Oh, that'd be, usually it's Sean Ludwig with the water plant.
Okay,
Gene Fritz with the cemetery. And then if need be, Jason Kingsbury with Park and Rec and
Okay.
Zach Anderson.
so there's some cooperation
Yes.
between other departments to come in and help you in those cases.
Yes. So I will have the pickups do cul-de-sacs, which cul-de-sacs are the round. Yeah, it's just a lot easier for them, those trucks to do that versus our big trucks to get in there, turn around, keep backing up, and they'll do all that for us.
Okay.
So that speeds up our time.
Some of your pickups, do they go through the alleys? Because I've
Yes,
done a
yes.
ride along with somebody
Yes,
in a pickup going
yes.
through the alleys. But do you clear all the alleys too?
If we need, yeah.
If you can, okay,
Yep.
all right. Every street, every alley. How long is the total process to get everything cleared after a big snow event, say at night?
Well, the initial one, I think we could probably get it done in 3 hours. Get everything open. When you say complete, a lot of that we will go back, go to the curb, just make sure everything's all the way back to the curb. We do that for water drainage, so when it does get, and then if there's a significant amount, we will clean corners. So we take the loader and go around the corners or the skid loader and then clean that up. So you could have a good 8 hours in maybe a 3-inch snow
Yeah.
with Main Street.
How long can your snowplow drivers actually operate a plow before you have to send them home? Is there a rule about that?
I like to do just 12-hour shifts.
Okay, and then
Yep.
give them a break
Yep.
to get some rest. Okay, makes sense. So you can't be out there all the time, and we only have so many people. I wanted to also talk, we announced at one point, and I don't know how many people looked at that or read it, but there's a new process to take snow out of the downtown, because if we get huge amounts of snow, the downtown can get pretty tricky.
Yes.
So explain to me what change was made and why.
So with the downtown, when we have cars parked on the west-hand side and we load from the north part of 6th Street and we head south to I Avenue. What happens if we get that windrow in the middle, our trucks won't have enough room if people are diagonal parking like they should.
And we're talking about getting snow actually removed from the downtown
Yes,
area.
yes.
If once you
When we
plowed it into a certain place, okay.
Yes. So we windrow all of Main Street to the center of the road.
Used to.
No, we
Oh, you still do?
yeah.
Okay.
So it all goes from the sidewalk in, and then
Okay.
we have the loader and the blower, and then all of our trucks will be up on Main Street, and then the loader blows into the truck. But with that, with the blower and the windrow being in the middle, and our trucks with the wings on them, and if people diagonal park there, we're getting pretty close to rubbing or hitting
Okay.
cars.
Okay.
So what we proposed was to put all the windrow on the eastbound lane, or not
Okay.
the east, but the east side of the road, northbound lanes.
Okay.
That way we can get the loader there and then have a truck in its own lane.
Okay.
The only other thing I can say is if you need to be downtown, is to, instead of diagonal park up against the curb
Okay.
until that section is complete.
Okay. So like park, pull your car
Against the curb,
along
yep,
the
instead
curb.
of
So ignore
the
the lines when there's a snow event. You got to be up there for something. Just
Yes.
park.
Until that section is clean.
Okay.
You know, normally it doesn't take but 3-4 trucks to get a
Yeah.
block clean.
Yeah.
And then we're done. I mean, it's
Okay.
already salted, and we'll have enough room to go back through that middle
Okay.
again to put more salt.
Gotcha. So the quicker you can get it done, the quicker people
Absolutely.
can park the way they want to. And you know, I remember so I've been here like 30 some years now, but I remember actually parking like that once or twice in my time at the Journal, you know, because there would be such bad storms. So yeah, so it's not unheard of.
Another thing I can say is you'll see 6 dump trucks down there with an end loader, and if you see that, you know, just give them some space, give them some room. They've had a lot going on. you know, it just,
Because when you get to that Main Street area, it's after you've gone through the rest of the community and you come back to do snow.
yes,
Get
pretty
it out
much.
of the way.
You know, we'll get all the roads, try to get all the roads open, and then it's focus
Okay.
on downtown,
Okay.
get that done. So just give them a little bit of space. They've been out there quite a bit. It does get, you know, pretty tiring.
Yeah.
You know how it is. You drive X amount of miles and you just kind of,
Well,
So-
and kind of in circles in some
and
cases, yeah.
you know, and I always say 6th Street is not the only road open in town. So.
Right, right. Do you do any extra treatment at intersections? I should ask that. Or is it pretty much the same thing? You're just always dropping salt as you
We
go?
just drop salt.
Okay, okay.
Sand and salt, if you mix that, then the salt goes away.
Mm-hmm.
It's still not good for the environment, but the sand will actually get into our storm intakes,
Oh, okay,
and then that fills that up.
okay.
So we don't do that.
We don't do that. Did we used to do it?
We used to do it
Okay,
years ago.
all right. And so we're learning.
Yes.
Any questions you get asked quite often from residents, or any problems residents might have that you want to address right now, or is snow removal kind of getting to a point where people understand the process now?
It is. We don't like the snow blowing back out in the streets.
Oh, okay, with snow blowers?
Yes.
Yeah,
We've had some of my drivers with garbage cans being at the end of driveways.
okay,
It's fine. Don't put it out in the road.
okay,
Brush up on the ordinance for the mailboxes. There is an ordinance that the front of the mailbox has to be behind the curb.
right.
So we
I think we
get some
did
of those.
something about that last year.
It's just one of those things where,
Anything that could come out where your plow could hit it.
yes.
Yeah.
And then I have to determine if a plow hit it or it's just, it's kind of, I don't think everybody understands the, like, well, you said if it hits this, but there's stipulations that we have to have.
Okay, so the main thing is if we can keep our garbage cans, keep our mailbox, keep things from sticking out,
Yes.
it will just help the drivers do the job more efficiently and be safer doing it, not
Yes.
Not have all these
And clean your
problems.
fire hydrants if you have one.
clean around them and
Yes.
stuff. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's what the fire chief always talks about too.
Yes.
So I think, unless there's anything else you want to mention, I wanted to ask you how is the paint on those kids' plows holding up this year?
They are.
I've seen
Yes.
the one a couple times. So the Cub one I've noticed a couple times. So
We had 3 of them on the big trucks.
Mm-hmm.
Even my own son's like, Dad, I saw that truck out. And
Uh-huh.
I knew it was you. And,
Yeah.
And then the ones on the pickup, they're still on there. But yeah,
Okay.
it's a good deal. And I think,
yeah.
you
So the
know,
paint has held through the first part of winter.
yes.
And then what can we do it again? I mean, will it work to do it again or?
We have some other plows, some other
Okay.
options
Okay.
we could come up with. So,
But eventually, if that wears off, you could let the
Oh,
kids
sure.
paint them up again.
Oh, yeah.
So well, that was a fun project.
It was. It
anyway,
was.
okay, I think we've pretty much covered the processes. If anybody has any additional questions, they can certainly note those in the post when we post this, and I'll reach out to Joe and post an answer. So, anything else, Joe?
no, I'm good.
All right, thanks so much.
Back to
It's been
patching
fun.
holes.
All right, patch them up.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
the next thing.